This is where our theme song will be.
Hey everybody.
This was the first thing we made in our shop once we set up our Winfinity, this exact bit tray. We purchased the file from Etsy and Bjorn was happy with it for about a week.
Then for the next 16 months it bounced around our shop, getting in our way on almost a daily basis. But by then we were either too busy or I was too lazy to do anything about it. Moral of the story is don't be like me.
In today's video, we'll show you how you can make your own bit tray customized for your tools so you can stay organized in the shop.
That's right, let's get into it.
So the first thing you're going to do is take a photo of all the tools you want pockets for. Make sure the tape measure extends the boundaries of the photo.
Let's get started. We don't want this tray to be too big, so we'll start smaller and adjust the size if we need to. We'll start with 13 by 10. Let's remember to measure off the machine bed on this one so we don't cut into our brand new spoil board. Grab the rectangle tool and we'll make our tray 12 by 9. We'll also add a 1/4 inch radius on our corners because we're fancy like that. Next, let's import the photo that Bjorn took that includes a tape measure so we can match the size. We'll need to resize the image to match the measurement in the photo. This one is 10 inches, so it's perfect. Now start grabbing some shapes and draw around the tool we want spaces for. These don't need to be perfect, just make sure you leave a bit of wiggle room. We're also going to add a small circle in the center so we can pull these tools out. Once you're ready, you can delete the photo and grab the trim tool. We can use this to remove all of the interior lines. We now have an outline for our wrenches and our calipers. Next, we can add in some 1/4 inch bit holders. We'll want to make the holes slightly larger than 0.25 inches, and we can use the array copy tool to space them apart. We'll start with 12 holes in 2 rows and see how that looks. So it looks a little tight on the sides, but the goal here is to fill in the space, and as long as it's a 1/4 inch from the edge, it should be fine. In fact, let's offset another row in between those just to maximize this space and get in as many bits as we can in there. So we could keep going and add in more rows for bits, but for this tray, why don't we throw in a few boxes just for miscellaneous items like collets or Allen keys. We'll make these 3/4 of an inch high by 11 inches wide, and let's add in 2 of them. We still need to add in the touch probe. It measures 3/4 of an inch by 2.5 inches on its side, so we'll make the hole slightly larger at 0.8 inches by 2.6. Because this is a pocket hole, the corners would end up being rounded, so we need to add in some fillets. 0.15 inches will do. We're just about done, but let's tighten these up a bit more, and we'll add in another storage box in our empty spot. We're ready to create the tool paths. Let's select the pocket tool path, choose your 1/4 inch end mill, and make the cut depth 0.4 inches. Click Calculate. Next, let's select the outside edge, select the profile tool path, making sure the cut depth is the full width of your material, and the machine vectors on the outside. Click Calculate. Lastly, we just need to save the file and send it to the CNC. Because we use the same bit for both tool paths, we can combine them into one file.
So here we are attaching our material to our spoil board. We use tape and glue. It's always worked for us. Eventually we'll have a jig or some sort of clamps to hold down our stuff. But for now we're good. Pay no attention to the huge gouge I put into the spoil board right after making a video about how to protect it. We manually zero X and Y, but for Z, we use the probe on the machine bed. So we never cut into our spoil board. Unless, of course, you used an old file that was designed on easel and forgot about it. We have been through quite a few Dustboots since we started, but so far the Swinger by Rowdy Roman has been our favorite. MDF is one of the worst things to cut because the dust gets pretty bad, but this left almost zero trace. All said and done, this file took about ½ hour to cut out, and then I just used a palm router to round over all the edges.
And here it is, the perfect tray for our needs with some room to grow.
Now to be perfectly honest, we just made and designed this tray for this video because we recently designed and created a tray holder in our shop that holds 3 separate trays that we can slide out and change if needed.
Our tray holder is a bit of an advanced design, so what we've done is added the plans to our shop for a couple of bucks. If you're interested, you can find the link in the description.
Now, our plans are just for the bit tray holder itself, because after this video, you should be confident in yourself enough to be able to make your own bit trays. And we'd love to see it if you make something cool, so don't forget to tag us on social media, @TwoMakersCrew.
And as always, we love feedback. If you have anything you'd like to say about this video or any ideas for another video you'd like to see, leave it in the comments below.
Have a good night, everyone.
This is where our theme song will be.